Welcome to the next episode of VGXL. I'm your host, Daniel, aka Games. Joining me today is Atokad. And today we're going to be discussing the Sony event. And if you're not following, definitely follow us on Twitter at VGXL Podcast or Video Games X Life everywhere else. But what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's good, man? I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I'm still creaming over that event. I enjoyed it.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Creaming over it?
Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Explain it to me.
I feel like we've had such, I guess the bar is low. Because, if I take a step back out of the super excited, I'm a fanboy of video games in general, so just seeing things come out excite me. But it's like the fact that we've gotten kind of like mid things in almost every showcase. Like Xbox was the best thing we had seen in a while, and stuff like that. It's like still it wasn't that great. Even though the Gamescom wasn't, the E3 overall was just okay. So it's like to see some like stuff that I actually care to play and that looks exciting to play. I guess that's what really got me really excited. Like I walked away feeling like, all right, see, this is the type of stuff I like. But I don't know. I thought we're gonna dive deep into that. But overall, I enjoyed it.
All right. Interesting.
But before we get deeper into that and go crazy, what you been playing this week?
What have I been playing? I got pretty far in Psychonauts. I'm pretty sure I'm at the end of it, so I'm about to beat that. I didn't get to. And then just some of the old favorites. Been playing lots of Forza 4 Horizons. It's always a good time. No Man's Sky. We got a little session of that. That was a good time.
That was fun. Yeah.
Although my base is missing, I had a dope underwater base. It wasn't great. It was decent though. But that's all gone now. I guess whatever textures they used for that planet just were no bueno. So they just wiped them.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, maybe they'll fix it in a future update. I know they did patch it today, I think, or maybe yesterday. And I didn't check it out. Yeah, so I do have to get back on and just double check because maybe they fixed that.
I see.
But yeah, that's it. That's about it. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, for me, No Man's Sky caught me this past week, man. Like from the weekend, from the last time we recorded, I didn't really play much else. I'm trying to think. I probably, nothing worth mentioning. If I did play anything, I can't think of anything else I really devoted any time to. So I calmed down with Final Fantasy again because it's like I have everything I want at a pretty decent level, so when the expansion comes out in November, I'm ready. But No Man's Sky, that new Frontiers update really plus all the other stuff that I never really got deep into. Like I finally got deep into it, and it's like I didn't realize how easy it was to get the exocraft, so that was cool finally getting that. And I found my first little settlement without having to you can get it through a vendor, but the game just randomly sparked it for me. It was just like, hey, look, there's this distress signal, you should go check it out. When I got there, it was a settlement, so I thought that was really cool. And just overall just been I like survival games. It's like, as much as I love narratives and more action oriented games and things like that, it's like survival games are my weakness. And
I know. I was surprised you weren't playing it earlier, since I know you dumped so much time into Valheim.
Right.
So after Valheim died, I was like, he's definitely gonna jump into it, but you stayed away for a little bit.
Because you know what it is. I know myself, and this already had happened last November, literally right before we started the podcast. Oh no, I think we had just started the podcast almost a year ago, and that's when I had played. I think that was their a really big update around that time,
right?
And I did get stuck on it for a little bit, but it's like one of those games where, again, if I'm not playing with anybody, it kind of takes away from it. And two, it's like there's other games, so it's like I know it's like playing these unending games means that I could be finishing something in my backlog, and I'm not, because I'm playing this game that never ends. So it's I try to give I give it up a little bit. It's like a give and take. Just same thing with Final Fantasy. It's like a game that's I could devote all my time to that game, find something to do because there's so much to do. But then that takes away from the little bit of time I have to play other stuff. So I'm back and forth. But this time I was just like, you know what? I just went all in. And then even I got Pfeffer playing it. The boy G Money's been playing it. Nice. And then he goes into a freaking the Nexus, where the anomaly where the other players are. Somebody just randomly gives them 5 of these engine pieces that are worth 5 million credits each.
Nice.
No, 50
Oh,
million. 50 million credits each.
50 mil each?
50 million. So he's like, yeah, I have
Oh,
150 million. And I'm like,
that
because
must be
before
nice.
he sold them, Pfeffer was like, you got to give me and your father one.
Trying to get a
And
cut. Real nice.
I'm like, as much as he still has them. I mean,
Mhm.
2 of them. And as much as I want, it's just like I told him, just be careful, man, because I'm like, I'm trying to play the game correctly. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I mean, the
know,
same thing happened to me though. Someone I had just turned it on from not playing it for a while, and they just walked up and they just put something in my pocket. It was like a quantum processor. It wasn't 50 mil. No,
wow.
actually, I'm lying. It was worth 50 mil.
Oh, really?
I take
It
it
didn't
back.
ruin
Yeah.
it didn't ruin the game for you, like being rich or take away?
No, because everything's expensive, and you can make money fairly quickly if if you really want to put in the time. Like my little nip nip farm, or I was what was I making? Acid. I was making acid, so you get like mold, some fungus and some moldite stuff, and you can make it acid, and you can sell that at a pretty decent amount. So
Oh,
you,
I
you can make
see.
money. It's not once you start getting into a flow, you'll see that that's not that bad.
Oh, I see. Okay. I
Yeah,
told him, that's why I was like, you know what? I'll take it.
yeah,
Because my
exactly.
my goal in the game is to have a fleet. I really want a fleet, and
Okay, yeah,
have that packed up. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it. But I told him, like, don't be flying around with like the coolest stuff and being all in my game. Like, look what I can do, and ruining like stuff. And I'm just like, so just
yeah.
chill out. But yeah, so that happened. So I'm like, yeah.
That's funny.
Maybe it's a good thing, because then, like I said, I could just invest in, and probably just a few things. I could probably blow that money away
I was gonna
anyway.
say, yeah, a few things like you'll just get a newer ship that has way more like storage or capacity.
That's true.
And you know
If
what I mean?
anything,
Like
that'll
that
be the
feels good. Yeah. You're just
yeah.
like, fuck yes, finally. So
That'd probably be the first thing I do, is get a ship with tons of storage, because that
yeah.
storage is still annoying, even though you have it everywhere now, but still
No,
annoying.
it is, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's jump into it. So yeah, so
Sweet.
today's Thursday, September 9th.
Captain's vlog.
And now that I say that, happy anniversary to the Dreamcast, 22 years ago.
Oh,
Released
all right. Nice.
9999. So
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty awesome
Sweet.
to think about. It's like, damn, the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Old as fuck. Shit.
Yeah, right. And when that thing was like the freaking cutting edge, bleeding edge
Yeah.
technology, first first console to come with a freaking modem in it and have internet and all that.
That's right. Yeah.
And shout out to the Dreamcast, man. Some
Yeah.
great games.
He's doing it big.
Yeah, but yeah. So with that being said, they're killer. Sony, it feels like they twisted the knife a little bit. Like, oh yeah, you remember Dreamcast? Well, fuck them. Here's the PlayStation event 20 years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, the PlayStation. I don't know. Like I said, they opened up with the KOTOR remake, Knights of the Old Republic.
They did.
And I know that's definitely a game that you're interested. Now, it didn't show any gameplay. I know it's just more of
Nope.
a thing that we knew is coming. But
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think even seeing it? Was it just like, all right, whatever, because you knew about it?
No, I won't go too far. I won't say I'm angry or anything, but almost, because it's just like we already knew about this. Like if
Right.
it was more of a rumor and it was more just really on the peripheral and we really hadn't heard about it, okay, this is pretty exciting.
Right. I can
But
agree
we
with
knew
that.
about it. Well, this was pretty much all. It was all but no. It was even confirmed, I think.
Right.
So it was just like, all right, and then just to see our guy there, it was cool, but even that, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah. Like I said, it was like just I was excited. I thought I did because I was like, if you watch my I'm gonna try to upload the stream of my reactions to it. So I was a little hyped, but
Yeah.
going back, it's like you're right. They thinking about it, it's like, and calming down, it's like, yeah, they didn't show shit for that. So exciting, but not exciting. Yeah.
If they would have even like played the voice, like HK-47, as dumb as that is, if it was just had been like a desert, and then you heard, oh, of course, meatbag. Like that would have set me off. I would have gone nuts for that. Just hearing
That's
him
true.
call
Like
you meatbag or something.
Yeah, some like
Like,
lines or something. It's true. It could have been a
yeah.
better reveal or a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's whatever. I'm happy it's
Yeah.
happening.
Exactly. Now it was just confusing. Like, is it a console exclusive or is it just marketing? It has to just be marketing, right?
Yeah, it's marketing. It's coming to multiple consoles and PC.
Yeah, it has to be.
Well, I'm not positive about PC actually, but
It got to be PC.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Wait,
can't
but
commit.
oh no, I think it was another game. Was it? It's not Epic. Epic's not helping with that, right? Who was?
No, Aspire.
Oh, it's just yeah, that's right. It's just Aspire. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's part of Lucas Film Games or Lucas Games, no, whatever it's called. Now, Project Eve. What I thought I didn't know nothing about this. I heard Eve and I was thinking Parasite Eve. What is this? But no,
Yeah.
it's probably super unrelated.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
for me personally, I normally um shy away from Japanese anime style games. But this one looked good to me. I don't know it looks like a next gen game, like graphically. It doesn't look too hollow. Like I play Scarlet
Yeah.
Nexus because I want to give it a chance, give like
Right.
a game like that, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with it. I got to go back. That game, Project E made me want to go back and finish it.
Yeah.
And like, things like Tales of Arise that just came out. Those games are looking better and better. But this one, I don't know. I was digging the music. I was digging some of the like the action. It
Were you?
looked
Okay.
really
Yeah.
dope. But I don't know what you thought about that.
Well, did you play Bayonetta? First questions
No,
first. You
I've
didn't.
seen
Okay.
no, I've seen the a little bit of video and stuff like that, but I never
Okay.
really sunk my teeth into Bayonetta.
Okay. I only asked because that's the first thing I thought of, and like the chat on YouTube was like shouting that out, and I agreed with them. I thought it was definitely Bayonetta, because her hair was like super long in the ponytail at the beginning.
Right.
It looks like Bayonetta a lot, like just the combat, the scale of the monsters, the style of monsters, and all that. It looks a lot like it, but it looks fun, like Devil May Cry / Bayonetta and all that good stuff.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
probably not going to play it, but it looks
right, I
cool.
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's like I have to see what I'm doing around the time that drops because yes, it's exciting to see, but it was more like, oh, that looks really cool, but that was it. It wasn't
Yeah.
like anything more than it looked really cool. But
Yeah. Like
again, it's like
I don't think those games are at the top of anybody's list.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't never even heard of it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that I just hope it's fun. That's all I care about. It's like hope
Yeah.
it's just fun.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
decent.
But and then from there, Tina's Wonderworld and Wonderlands. Now,
Right.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Now that what do you think? What do you think about that?
Oh man, people are gonna hate me for this, but I'm just over Borderlands right now. I could not care less, I don't think. I think like when that preview was on, I'm pretty sure I turned away and just started looking at my phone.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in it anymore. I hate to say it. But
Well, I mean, if people would hate you for that, then they'd really hate me because honestly, I never liked Borderlands as much as I
never?
tried. Never, not even
Oh
the early
wow.
ones. Like, and
Really?
I've literally owned every single Borderlands except for the pre sequel, and even that I think I have it through some free shit probably.
Yeah.
And
Really? You didn't enjoy any of it? Like the writing, the loot,
I
the
never got in.
gameplay?
I didn't care for the shooting enough to get that
Mm,
far to the right. It never grabbed
okay.
me, and I tried.
Okay.
And then I even bought. I saw part. I got a one of those epic, coupons, and it was on sale. So I got it. I got part 3 for like $20,
Oh, okay.
and I started. And I love like the beginning was pretty funny. You see what's his name, the little robot guy, like
Yeah.
crawling on the floor. He's being all secret, and I thought the writing there was funny, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I just hated the shooting again. I was like, this is the problem I had last time I've tried playing this.
Mm,
The shooting just doesn't feel good. It's not like, and if you guys know me, it's like I'm not the type to just shit on a game based on like minimal things. I base my opinions on actually playing the game and
right. Yeah.
giving it a fair shot. And
Yeah.
it has to grab me. Obviously, a game has to grab you, and I couldn't push forward to care. I got into a couple of, I got to a boss fight. I played like I put like a solid 3 hours in, and I just didn't. Every time I did, I was
It's
forced to
nothing.
every time I
Mm,
sat down to play, which was maybe 3 times, like an hour each time, I forced myself after the first time to do
I
it.
gotcha.
Yeah, and I don't know. So yeah,
That sucks. Yeah.
I'm there with you. Like I like the
Yeah.
aesthetic, but I don't care if it's the same shooting. I'm probably not gonna like it. So
That's so funny because I'm like the opposite. Like I love the aesthetic. Well, no, I hate the aesthetic. There we go. I was like, wait, no, I hate the aesthetic now. I used to love it because it was different. It was like, oh, cool, cell shaded. It's different. The art style was very fresh.
I was
And
talking about Tiny
now,
Tina's. I never liked the aesthetic of it.
oh, really? Oh, okay.
The
So, all
whole
right.
desert thing, I never liked it. It was just so plain to me. I don't know.
It
I
was
never liked.
plain, but I don't know. I like the artwork. And like I said, it was different. The cell shading and all
That's
that.
true.
It was very different at the time. But now I see it. I'm just like, this is so boring. Like, it's just old. Like, they didn't upgrade the engine at all. The lighting is the same. Like, you know how I feel about lighting, guys. Like, at this point in time, you have to step that up. We'll talk about more of that later. But
No, I agree with you. Like lighting is
yeah, it's
becoming a
just
big deal. Yup.
yeah, absolutely, man. But I played so much of it like in the co-op because the co-op was also fun. If you had more people to play with, I think you would have enjoyed it.
That's
Maybe.
probably it. In
But
the early days, that's probably it.
yeah,
Now I
yeah,
played a little bit with Mike, and it was just like we
yeah.
did a couple of missions, and I don't know. I think by the
Yeah,
time I played with him, I just at that point I was already over it. So it's just like,
yeah,
all right, I'll play with you a little bit, and I was just shooting shit.
that's
I don't
fair.
know. Maybe one day I'll pick it up because this has happened to me before. Maybe one day I'll pick it up and be like, why didn't I like this before?
Yeah.
Maybe I got to try with a controller. Maybe I was playing mouse and keyboard because um
Ah,
I realized now that I say that a couple of weeks ago, I think I told you I played some Destiny, and
yeah,
I was playing it on the X on the series because you get all the expansions. So I was playing on the Series X, through Game Pass, and I was really enjoying it with the controller. Like my aim
yeah,
didn't feel off, and I was getting kills, and the sliding, everything felt really good. So I
right,
like maybe that's what it is because I could not play Destiny with mouse and keyboard. Like it felt too floaty, or I don't know, something about it, like didn't hit right. And then playing
yeah.
with controller, like I got really into it. So I'm like maybe Borderlands one day. Maybe I'll just throw it because I still own it. So maybe I'll throw it with a controller. Maybe that's what maybe I don't need such precision and quick, like aiming and just sitting there hanging out, shooting shit. Maybe that'll get
Yeah.
me into it. I don't know.
No, I
But
think you're right. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of the aim assist. It makes a lot of games more fun because you don't have to be worried about those micro movements and shit like that. Like you just like when you pull it, like that's what made Halo great. Not for nothing, it was just like all your shots felt like you knew you were gonna nail your shots with the pistol and the what I mean, like for the most
right.
part, like it felt good. It felt easy. Yeah.
Exactly. People cry about that when control, but I'm like, first of all, it just goes in the direction. Second, it's really
Yeah.
not that bad. It's like, and
No.
and it's true. Like Call of Duty is too quick for a controller. Like I got okay at it, but my skill level was way higher with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And like where I get consistent, because there was a time where Call of Duty, I would get, if I got 5 kills in a match, I felt like on top of the
That was a
world.
big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like if I'm not at least hitting like 20, then it's just like, okay, I was trash in that one. Like, even
Yeah.
that's not a lot. Some people be getting like 30, 40 kills like nothing, but
Yeah. Not me, but yeah, some people.
yeah, so it's like, it happens where now I can actually feel it feels good to play.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, let's moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Now this one I
Oh,
thoroughly enjoyed.
I was gonna say I knew you were gonna love this one.
Okay, like
Yeah.
Forspoken. Tell
Yes.
me you at least like the way that a little bit more.
So what happened was when I first saw it, I didn't see also a criticism against the showcases. Sony, slow the fuck down. You gave like
Yeah.
the title cards for like a nanosecond. I missed so many titles of games and like the release dates just because I'd be like, oh cool. Whoa, what the oh come on. And I would
Yeah,
miss shit. So guys,
I
easy.
agree with that.
You try to pack so much in like 40 minutes. Easy. Relax. So I didn't know it was from Square Enix. So I saw it and I was just like, what is this Final Fantasy ripoff? And I was like, all right, whatever. And then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, it's literally Final Fantasy. It's them. Okay, this is awesome
Yeah,
now. So after that, now realizing that I am excited for that. That actually looks pretty dope.
it does.
It's about
And
time that they've changed the story in a deep way but kept the aesthetic, but they've really moved it to a different realm sort of. That's fire.
I was digging the Americanized like version of an anime game. Like I don't know, I was
Yeah.
digging that. I like the
It was
way
just
the
one
chick.
character. It's just her.
Exactly. I don't know. I was digging the chick. She didn't look too corny. She seemed like a real person. She's from New York. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and then when it felt like a Marvel game, or like a Disney adventure, but like with a little seriousness in it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like it felt like one. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I don't know. Some people were saying the acting seemed flat, but I'm like, I don't know. It seemed pretty good to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, screw that. The gameplay just looked fun, like flying
Yeah.
through the air and doing all those crazy moves, and looks
Yeah.
like the fighting could be fun.
Yeah.
So
It looked a lot like the tech demo that they showed like way back when at the start of like the new gen. That tech demo with all like the new shit and lighting effects and all that they're gonna start
right,
using. It looks a lot like that's what came of it. Like this is the game that they created from that.
right.
So
Who knows? So it's
yeah.
like I don't know. I was really that one really. I watched it. I let because Pfeffer missed it, so I let her watch
Okay.
it again. And I watched it again with her, and I was like,
Yeah.
this looks so good. Like I don't know. Like that's one that a lot of people, even on Twitter, all the
Yeah.
haters, because there was so many people still hating, saying,
Of
whatever.
course.
But we'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Before spoken, definitely on my radar. Definitely that it kind of that and the Bayonetta knockoff,
Yeah.
Project Eve they look
Project Eve,
similar,
yeah.
but I think I'm leaning toward like way more
No.
towards Forspoken. I hate the name
Oh,
though.
absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting. It's not really catchy. It's one of those names that I feel like definitely you find like the bargain bin at Walmart. Like
Right.
you're like, oh, Forspoken. Yeah, fuck it. I mean, just throw it.
I hope it's not that, man. That's the
But
thing.
yeah.
I hope it's not one of those things like, man, that looks amazing. Then it comes out, it's like super mid and like
Right.
clunky or something. Like, cause Square's infamous for that, man. Like they
Yeah.
either come out with a banger or a mid ass title, and it's just like.
I
So I
really hope
hope,
they do right by this. Yeah.
yeah, I hope so too. This got shown off a while ago, so I think the 2019, I think, is when we first saw some of it, and
Yeah.
like just like the hint, and you just see the girl running, and that was it,
Yeah.
and
And
well,
is
because
there was no release date for this, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
What I thought it was when it first opened, because I believe this is the first time we've seen the main character in her regular form,
Mhm.
and I thought it was like one of those, because they make that they publish those what is it called, Better Luck Tomorrow. I forgot the name of them. What's the one with the girl could rewind time and shit? Those that it looks like a Telltale game.
Oh.
Holy shit!
Control? No.
No, not Control. It's
I was
by
gonna say
Square.
she can't
I think
rewind time.
Square publishes it. The fuck is the name of that
Yeah.
game?
Oh
Like
my
the
god.
storytelling, the latest one's gonna have like like the girl in it's like LGBT, story time, and
Oh man.
I forgot
I
the
know you're
name
talking
now.
about too. Mm,
Oh my god, it's gonna bother me. Anyway, I know. People listening right now are like, what? It's that, you idiot. I know it's that,
yeah.
but I'm sorry I can't hear you. Okay,
Shit.
I'm
Now
in the.
that's.
So yeah, Life is Strange.
Mhm.
Freaking that's what I thought it was. I thought it was like I thought, so when if you watch me on the thing, I'm just like, oh, all right, and then as it kept going, I was like, wait. And then when she went through like that portal, I was like, she's like, where am I? He's like, Actia, and I'm like, did he say
It's a little
Actia?
different. Yeah.
Yeah, and then because it was called Project Athia before, and then I thought I
Right.
heard
Yeah.
the thing on her arm say it, and I was like, wait, it is, and then I forgot it was called Forspoken, and then they show up. But yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
that took me by surprise. I was
Yeah.
happy
I'm
about
happy.
that
It
one.
looks awesome, and the boss at the end, like they already have like the antagonist. It's like it looks
Hmm.
solid. Like narratively, looks awesome. Gameplay wise, that's gonna be the question. Is that tight enough?
Right,
Does that feel good? But
exactly, because Final Fantasy 15 looked great, and it was not that great. But I think they've I think Final Squares, they're becoming now where they were the masters of turn-based style of gameplay back in the day. Now it's like action RPG might be like their new like bread and
yeah,
butter, like something they're really good at. Because Final Fantasy 7 was very fun to play, and I can't wait to
extremely fun to
see.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I've been saying this lately. Like, I wish that they would have taken this opportunity with Final Fantasy Remake to reinvent the active time battle,
Mm,
and still keep it kind of a turn based ish.
right.
Because it was never true turn based. It was always it was active. So, but still, instead, they still call it that, but it's like more, it's still like running around in action and all that. So
Yeah.
but I really wish they would have did like Yakuza Like a Dragon, where they went turn based and and did wacky stuff with it, where this could have done like some cool, like graphically intensive things in a turn based environment. But
Yeah.
at least their games are very fun to play.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's coming. Everything's like cyclical. I think eventually when they go back to doing like the Final Fantasy like 12 remake, they'll bring back some awesome like combat systems that they had in that.
That's true.
Mix
If
it
they do
up.
like a 10 remake or not, they still got 8,
Yeah,
9. They got a
yeah, they
lot.
still exactly. Yeah,
Or maybe redo the original ones in like a 3D, but keep them like turn based. You know what I mean? And do
that'd
something
be
cool.
cool.
Like, that's where they can maybe reinvent it a little bit.
Yeah,
But
that'd be awesome.
yeah. So
But yeah,
the next we had after Forspoken was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction.
yeah, we can skip that. So
Uh,
after that, they had the I think it was the Alan Wake remake, which
wait.
I mean, who wants to hear about this? Who cares? Who
I just
cares?
want
Rainbow Six.
all I wanted to say was, yes, it's just Siege, but
Yeah,
I just wanted, the point I made on the stream was that it literally looks like because Ubisoft is infamous for taking ideas and putting their Ubisoft spin on it,
yeah.
and they looked at they
Spin.
definitely took some inspiration from GTFO for sure, because GTFO, you ever played that?
Nah.
GTFO is pretty good. If you it's you have to play with a squad. You have
Okay.
to with 4 people.
Okay.
There's no matchmaking as far as I'm aware because it's like a game like that. Like
Oh, I see.
yeah. So pretty much you go into a base
Mhm.
and there's it's a mixture of you have to do stealth and your weapons are very very limited. Like they're literally there only for like strategically taking the monsters out. You have to use like your tools and your weapons just another tool, you know what I mean? So it's
Right.
not like a
Okay.
shooter where you rely on your gun and yeah you have some auxiliary to know everything's a strategic tool. So if you have if
Okay.
you want to put down a turret, bombs or whatever, and then your gun supplements those things, you know what I
Got
mean?
okay.
And
Right.
if you can take everything out stealthily, obviously that makes the game easier. So when I was watching this, you see them like look for it's more monster based instead of soldiers, and you play as a soldier rather fighting monsters, and you
Right.
see them like look to like do something, and you see the outline of the monster to the wall, and and it's like you have to strategize to take those waves out. And I'm like, that's exactly like GTFO in a sense.
GTFO.
If it's an enclosed area, I don't know if they move area to area because GTFO is about moving area to area,
Okay.
but you should really play that. It's interesting. I don't know how
It
much you
sounds
like it,
interesting, yeah.
but
Yeah, it
because
sounds a lot
the
of
shooting is weird, but it's
okay.
fun.
It sounds a lot like the Freddy, what was it, the Friday the 13th game and things like that, the Hunter,
Right,
and then
right. So
certain ways to track the victims and all that. I don't
exactly.
know. It looked very generic though, and even like the monster models that I saw for Siege, I mean, they look like things I'd seen in like Prototype and like Left 4 Dead. I was just like,
Probably it's
this is all just
Ubisoft. Like,
bullshit. I don't know.
yeah, if it's I think it's like an ad. Is it an add-on to Siege,
I think
or
it's
is
like
it a
one of the free
standalone?
updates. I don't think it's
Okay.
standalone. I wouldn't pay for that. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
because if it's either free or cheap or it's an add-on that to Siege, I think I own Siege somewhere. Um,
I
I'll try
do.
it out. I only because I know people like Atlas Pax and Miklas, they're gonna want to play that game. And with a squad, I think it'll be fun. I played a little bit of Siege. I'll
Yeah.
give it a chance.
Yeah.
It looked interesting enough to like try it out for me with a squad. Like alone, I probably will never touch that game. But with a squad,
No.
I'll jump in with a squad. If they're like, "Yo, play with us," I'll be like, "All right."
Yeah, I've tried to
But
play that game. I try to get into it because it always looks fun. Like in like oh man, what's that show on YouTube that I like watching? Oh shit, basically where they do like the gaming montages of like all the blooper
oh,
the
right,
highlight
right.
reel, highlight reel.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so they always look fun. Like you see the highlights and it's like it looks like a good time, but then I play it, I'm just like this isn't fun.
It's the same thing. Like I don't know. The regular Siege, yeah, I never found my like
Yeah,
like any could stick my teeth into that. Like it didn't stick. Yeah, like I tried playing with
yeah,
them like a couple of years ago, and it seemed like you said, it starts off all right, and then the matches just went really long. And I don't know if Effer and I were playing with
yeah.
them, and we're just like, I don't never want to play that game ever again.
Yeah, you feel like you literally maybe that's what it is. It's too realistic. You feel like you're actually there, and you're just like, this isn't fun. This is just
Yeah,
stressful. And then I got shot in the back, and then I watch everybody else die. So
right, exactly. And it's like I never got good at it, so to feel
yeah,
it never felt good. Like I said, I would give it, if I don't have to pay much money for it or any money, I'll give it a chance. But I really hope I feel better. That's the only reason, because Siege always looked like fun. So if this is a little bit different, where it's a more strategic, you're fighting monsters, just not so like realistic. Maybe they add a little more action to it. It could be, it could be fun. That's what I'm saying. I'll give it
yeah,
a chance. I won't shit on it right away, but I won't pay money for it
yeah. I'm with you on that.
unless I see it or play a demo or something, and it's just like, oh my god, okay, fine,
Yeah,
But
I don't
but
think
yeah,
that's gonna
so
happen.
right. Alan Wake remake.
Yay!
Did you play the original game?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another one of those moments that made me think of the presentation overall as just like, all right, because I've already played this. This is old news.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
played
This
it
was
twice actually. I think I played it on PC as well. So
I know I'll play this. I started it at once, and I never. It was one of those games that just kind of I missed. And then by the
okay,
time I realized I should have played it, then it's already an older game, and
too
it's
late.
it already looked graphically bad, and
Yeah,
not bad, but
not as good as it could.
exactly, like you could tell
Yeah,
it's a 360 era game. And so it was just like, so once I heard this, I was like, all right, I want to check it out.
yeah.
But
And
but yeah,
did you play Control or no?
I played only like the opening. I didn't get into it.
Ah, okay. You didn't like it. All right. I'd say give Control another shot. and if you enjoy that, you'll like Alan Wake because same studio, obviously.
Right, Remedy, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the things are the same. Like you can definitely see where they expanded from Alan Wake and then brought that to Control and stuff.
Okay.
So it's cool. I like it. It's a cool story, cool gameplay.
I
It's not too
gotta
long.
I played like the opening and then yeah, I don't know. I forgot why I never went back to it. It wasn't like I hated it. It was just
Yeah,
like all right. And then I
yeah.
just put it down.
No man, throw on the RTX and
That's
DLSS and
true,
have
yeah.
at it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous too.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but the most exciting news,
No, no,
eh?
no,
Eh?
not exciting at all. Foolish.
GTA 5
It's coming uh, uh, next year.
next. I know. I was like next year. I thought it was gonna be the. So it's like, all right.
Yeah,
Anyway, that we don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. We can move
I
on
know.
unless you have something to add.
I can't. No, I'm shocked they try to really like make that exciting news. Like they wasted what 45 seconds to tell us that GTA Online is coming next March. Like what?
You could have tweeted about that. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
so dumb.
They think that a game making a lot of money means that it's popular. Like, no, it just
Yeah,
means people are stupid and spend money on a whack game,
yeah,
and that's it. Or the
yeah.
whales are spending a lot of money on it.
It's
Or
got to
put
be whales, right? Because like, who the fuck is like, I don't know. It's got to just
children.
be small,
Yeah,
like small group of people who are just going nuts and buying everything. Because
like I'm
I
like,
don't know.
come on. Like I
Yeah,
get like the RP and all that fine. Like, there's things to do in there, but it's like after the RP explosion, it's like, are people still even playing that shit? But hey,
I
like
don't know.
I'm not mad at people playing it, but I just don't care. Like, you're right. This is the first showcase we've gotten in a while. Why are we wasting time on GTA 5? Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
But now this
Nobody.
one, I don't know. They finally. I don't think we've seen any footage before for today, if I'm not mistaken. But Ghostwire Tokyo,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like we've ever seen, and I didn't give a
We
shit
did.
about
It
that
wasn't
game.
a lot though. It
Oh,
was very.
okay.
It was very little, and it was they kept it very vaguish.
What do you think about that?
I'm into it. I was excited from before though, because I'd seen screenshots and I knew kind of the thing they were going
I
for.
need
It's in
more.
Tokyo,
Hmm.
so I was like, yeah, I'm into it. It looks fun.
Okay, I need more. I don't know.
Yeah,
It didn't grab me when I saw. I was like, oh, that's Ghostwire Tokyo. I don't know. Maybe I gotta watch it again because I was watching. What the fuck is this? Looks like a Mirror's Edge bullshit or something like it. Like that's what it felt like. But then,
yeah, it's
yeah,
yeah, it's definitely strange, and I would like to see more of it. It probably won't be a day one, but it's one of those things I just kind of want to check out. Who knows? This might be like one of those games where it's like Project Eve, where it's like it's a top tier double A game, but not quite triple A, or just like
right.
a lower triple A game.
That's true. Yeah, because
I'm
it
not really
is
sure.
Bethesda, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
I'm not even sure. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not
yeah.
positive. It's yeah.
It had that. It had that like Bethesda feel, like the first person craziness going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it had but yeah, because I remember everyone's like, oh, because it's Deathloop and Project Ghostwire Tokyo are
Mm-hmm.
the two, like the last two at PS5. They're only exclusive to PS5. They're not coming to Xbox. At least console versions aren't coming, not right away. Maybe in the future. I have a feeling they probably changed it to like maybe a timed exclusive. I doubt it's gonna be forever.
Yeah.
Um,
What
and
else did
most
they have
most third
besides
party
Ghostwire Tokyo? Oh,
are what's it called? Most third party are timed anyway. I mean,
yeah,
unless it's like something like like Square, who's like sticking hard to Sony,
to Sony for some reason. Yeah, yeah,
which
for
I
the
find
most part.
weird. Like I don't know.
Some weird loyalty, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they owe
Yeah,
the money.
they must have paid a shit ton to keep Final Fantasy off of Xbox. 'Cause I just don't
Oh
see why
yeah,
that's not on Xbox yet. But
yeah. Who knows? Maybe it will be because we got other Final Fantasies on there. So
that's true. So they're working with them. So what the fuck?
yeah,
But I
we'll see.
maybe that, yeah. So that's true because they are giving them something.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
all
they're
right.
building. They're chipping away little by little. Microsoft. They're working on it, chiseling away little by little.
Yeah.
But
Guardians of
yeah,
the Galaxy looked a lot of fun.
you
Um,
think so? Yeah.
like not okay. They didn't show much gameplay, so like to say fun is
Right.
a bit of a stretch. What I meant was what I'm saying. What I really want to say is that I'm interested because I think it's just gonna be mindless fun, like like
Hmm.
an easy game. You like punch the bad guys, move to set pieces with big explosions and
Right.
dope
Yeah.
music. Like I think it'll just be a overall fun game. Like I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a 10 out of a 10. It's not gonna do anything that crazy, but I don't think it'll be boring. I don't think I'll be hating my time with it. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it, and it comes out pretty soon. So I don't know. I want to see what it's about. I don't think it's going to be Spider-Man levels of greatness,
No.
but
No.
I think it's going to be at least okay to play. Like I think it'll be fun, fun little beat 'em up romp to, see the story play out, and that's what it'll be worth. You know what I mean?
All right.
Just kind of seeing it play out. I don't know. You don't think
Yeah.
so?
I don't know. I look at it and I get more of a vibe like I'd love to watch someone stream this, Like I think I'd really enjoy watching someone else play this. Me though, I don't think I'd have. I don't know. Like it looks okay, just doesn't really grab me at all. But I'm also kind of looking at everything they showed. I have questions like, are we gonna start just feeling like we're getting an overload of Marvel stuff? Has
Right.
Disney pimped out all their stuff so much that now it's just gonna be like, all right, another Marvel game, like cool.
Yeah. And I hate the fact that Square has any of the properties, because it's like they didn't do a good job with Avengers, which is really disappointing. And the fact that they made Avengers a cash grab instead of making it like artistically like an amazing video game franchise, because you could have, if you're gonna contract out all these developers, to make all these different games that piecemeal, you know what I mean? Meaning like, you have Guardians of the Galaxy with Square, and then you have Spider-Man and among others that we're going to talk about in a second, with Insomniac and Sony. It's like, if it would have just all been either just Insomniac or maybe like two maybe three studios that work on, I think it just would have been cooler to just make separate stories everyone can make, and then have like, I don't know, have a premiere developer make the Avengers game, like take the stories from all those and then have an Avengers, kind of like a like a narrative Smash Brothers type of thing, you know what I mean? Not fighting it, but like, like an overall, just you're pulling from, it's all these different developers, but you're taking those stories, that's specifically gonna build up to a game. And I just feel like that's such a missed opportunity. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's for me, it's gonna be, my job is going to be, all right, which one of these games is the cash grab and which one of these games is the authentic real deal that's worth playing. Right. And for me right now, Avengers looks like, all right, this is like one of their cash grab games, and then Spider-Man, of course, is one of their, like, this is a heavy hitter. We'll get to that in a minute. And that's how I feel about the other ones, like Insomniac. Love the name, love that company. They do great things, but it's like, we'll talk about that in a minute. But so that's, for me, it's like, all right, too many Marvel games. How are they going to be connected? Are they going to be connected? Are these just standalone things?
And that's what makes me sad too, that they're probably not connected. That's the shit that makes me sad. It's like, damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too excited about it. Franchise games for me have always, and just historically, have always been like hit or miss on and mostly just miss. We have Spider-Man, and I don't know what other superhero game has like really been amazing.
That's pretty much it. Like the smaller Avenger games that were like beat 'em ups, and
and then we have the Batman, the Rocksteady Batman.
All the Batman games,
those are awesome. But
other than that, it's not a whole lot. We're probably missing something. Sorry, we're missing stuff. Stop screaming.
Yeah, we probably are. Yeah, but that tells you a lot. Those are the only ones that stick out to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We shall see.
Yeah. Then they showed that Bloodline, the Masquerade Bloodlines or whatever, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt.
Yeah. That's, again, that just speaks to like a shitty showcase. You're showing us early access games, like.
Yeah, that was nothing to me. I was looking at this like, what the fuck is this? Okay,
I can go on Steam right now and install that and fuck around if I want to. I won't, but I could. I don't know, not exciting. Yeah.
And then there was Deathloop, and then Kid Amnesia Exhibition.
Yeah, Deathloop again. I don't know why they showed that. We all know all about that. Microsoft made sure to fucking play that out.
Like it's another one that I'm like, that's why I just skipped it for a second. It's just like I don't know, like Deathloop is really like, they've just shown that shit so much. That's just like, when are you gonna show anything fucking I mean, rather, I want that to come out so we don't have to hear about it anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to hear about this shit anymore. Yes, we've seen gameplay. They devoted a whole fucking state of play to that. Like, it was at every Game Awards, Gamescom, at E3. It's like, okay, we get it. The game's coming out on PlayStation. Like Like, why are you beating like this game? Nobody like. I almost don't want to play it, and I know it's gonna be a fun game, but I
Yeah.
almost don't want to play because I've heard so much about it that I just don't care. It's like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not that exciting. Even if they showed God of War every single thing, I wouldn't want to see any more of it because I'm like, yo, let my imagination run a little bit
Yeah.
and let me get excited for it. When you show me, you're bombarding me with demos and different descriptions and different trailers and blah blah blah. It's just like, all right, I feel like I've seen it
Yeah.
already now or played enough of it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care. Like,
It's
I'm
like the
not
movie
that.
trailer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They show the whole movie in the trailers, and then by the time you see it, you're just like,
It
well,
gets me so angry when they show. I forgot what the last one was that they showed everything in the trailer, and I'm like, thank God I saw this because god damn, like why are you like Terminator did that. Terminator
mm,
the Genesis was it or whatever the one
yeah.
that the whole twist was like I'm sorry if you haven't seen that movie yet, but in the first like hour, the first 10 minutes of the movie, you see that what is it? Oh no, not even that one. No, no, no. That's but I think they did in that one too. That you see like John Connor gets, you know, bodied, but it wasn't even that one. It was the one before that one that John Connor was the bad guy. And instead of leaving that like as a
Right.
little like surprise, like, oh wow, like the machines disguise themselves as John Connor, like no, they just made it, they showed it in the trailer. I'm like,
I
what
was gonna
the
say because
fuck?
even I knew that. Yeah.
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 And I'm
All
like,
I know from that movie is Christian Bale lost his shit.
oh
That's
yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think that's a different one though. I think wasn't that Resistance or some shit with
Oh, I don't
Christian
know.
Bale? Yeah, that was
All
that
the
was
newer
like,
ones. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was the one with what's her name from Game of Thrones. That's the one that had the John Connor was the robot
Marjorie
or whatever.
Tyrell. No, Lena Headley.
I believe so. Yeah, whoever was
Yeah.
Queen Dragons, Mother
Yeah.
of Dragons, whatever. But
Oh, Cersei. Amelia Clark was in one.
no, I said Mother of Dragons.
It's Amelia Clark.
That's the Khaleesi.
Yeah, Amelia Clark, nigga.
You said Cersei.
No, before I said Lena Headley. And you said yes, and I'm like, and then you said Mother Dragons. I said, oh, Amelia Clark.
Oh, okay. I don't know actresses' names or whatever. So
You disrespectful mother. It's Mother Dragons. Come on, man.
no, I know, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Fuck her, huh? All right.
I mean, I would.
Easy. Kid Amnesia exhibition. What do you think? Easy.
Didn't she? Oh shit! They didn't show nothing. It was like what Radiohead and somebody else is working on that.
Yeah, all I know is I heard Radiohead and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that was cool. They
That
didn't
was
show
it.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was after Tichia or whatever? That was with the little kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah, really colorful. It looks fun. Looks like a cute little platformer type adventure game.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'll get it. If Pfeffer gets it, then I'll have access to it. So immediately people are like, oh, that's a Pfeffer game. I'm like, yeah, she likes to play the cuter games.
Yeah.
Not something I'm
Yeah.
gonna like run to, but it looks like it's fun. It looks like it's a game that you might dick around in and be like, wow, this is actually cool if it wasn't so damn cutesy, like,
Yeah, maybe.
which doesn't bother me. But again, it's all about gameplay loops, and if it's a
Yeah.
boring gameplay loop, or just simple, because it looks like it's like
Right.
a nice big world and everything, but then when you actually play, it's like shallow. Like the systems will probably
Exactly.
be shallow.
Yeah.
Like,
We
yeah,
shall
you can
see though.
craft, yeah, you can take over monsters and stuff, but it's not really much more to it. That's what I feel like is gonna happen with this game. I hope I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
it'll be.
No,
I'm
I'm
sure
with you.
the biggest thing will be what they show, which was jumping into the animals and traversing the island. I think
Right.
after that it'll just be a light survival game.
Yeah, hopefully just the story is cool. I got like a little Moana kind of vibe
Yeah,
from
that's
it, which was
true.
cool.
Like that's what
So
I'm
that was
saying. Like
nice.
maybe, yeah, they could, if
But
it has good writing. Hey, they could. Yeah, it could be something.
yeah, we
We'll
shall
see.
see.
I'll keep my eye on that for sure. Like I didn't hate that they showed it. It was kind of cool. Like I like that. That's a kind of game that like it was geared towards a younger audience. It looks like they put some effort into that. So hopefully it's fun for everybody.
Yeah, agreed.
Did you care about Uncharted 4 being remastered?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't play. I didn't finish all the Uncharted. I played through part 1, which was a slog, and then part 2 was like I always hear is probably the best one. I got into a big chunk of that. I have to go back to it. And I just stopped because it's one of those things I put it down and just never got it back around to it. Not because I didn't want to, just time and other video games. But definitely, if I so I'm kind of happy I didn't play part 4 since now it'll be nice and pretty looking. So
nice and crispy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like the Uncharted games. I'm more of a Tomb Raider fan myself. Just that's
Hmm.
OG, and that's what I'm always drawn to.
Yep.
And yeah, Drake was cool for a while, but then I think he started getting a little obnoxious towards the end, for me at least. Because you start remembering more often than not that, oh, that's right, he is a thief, scumbag. So
Right.
that starts to pop up like more and more towards, as it gets older, the series. Um, yeah, I don't know. His story is just maybe not as compelling as like Laura Croft's is. So, it was all right.
Yeah. Like the set
It's
pieces were cool and stuff like that,
right.
and
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
but yeah, cool.
Um,
Good for them.
and then finally towards the end, now that we got through most of the what was that? That's all third party stuff. Most of this, right?
Yeah,
So
that first half of the show was brutal.
yeah, and then
Like
we
there was
got
a
to the
lot of bullshit.
meat and potatoes, the
Yeah,
bangers. They started with we see Insomniac, we see Marvel,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Potential bangers. Potential bangers.
they're gonna be bangers. The only one that won't that may I think they're all gonna be bangers, but Wolverine,
Right. Yeah.
because it's Insomniac, I think
Yeah.
we may get a good game. Now,
Yeah.
how they portray Wolverine, I'm worried because I'm still I'm an old guy, so all I
Mhm.
remember is Wolverine from the Saturday morning cartoon from X-Men cartoon, which was that freaking
Yellow and
gruff and
blue.
hardened and
Yeah.
hey bub, and then even in the Marvel vs.
Hey,
Capcom
bub.
games, the berserker, he still had the
Oh
same
man.
voice, he had that same
Weapon
demeanor.
X. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I
So
know it
good.
won't be as cheesy, but I just hope it's not like overly lighthearted, and then
Yes.
and yeah, because that's my worry too, because of what they did
Holy
with.
sh.
I know there's probably Kojima freaking tweeting when if I have to
Kojima. I was
I
gonna
have to,
say
I have to turn off his alerts because he goes crazy at the worst times.
he does. He's remember Japan hours. They're different.
Exactly. So anyway, so what I didn't like about the original Spider-Man and Miles Morales was mostly more Miles Morales than the original Spider-Man, than 2018 Spider-Man. Is just Miles Morales was just too light-hearted. Like his voice was very squeaky and he was
Okay.
super innocent, and
Right.
it was
Right.
like he was so naive. And I get it because he's a new superhero, so that's why so hopefully we get to see him grow, and
Mhm.
that's maybe that's what Miles Morales was for, to see him young and naive and squeaky voice. And then but still, even Spider-Man, the other Spider-Man was a little bit like, again, it was a tad bit lighthearted
It's
for
definitely not the
me.
gritty ones. Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
it though. I appreciate it.
So hopefully Insomniac can, he's gritty. They did the whole Logan thing too, and you see blood. So I'm like, I hope, I believe in them. They're a great studio. Their games are fun. So even if the
Yeah.
character isn't like the Wolverine I want, I think we're gonna get a fun game. You know what I mean? Overall, action game.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm afraid that it can very easily veer into the more cartoonish and soft, kind of playful side of things. But there was blood. It takes place in a bar. It looks like, you know what I mean? It does look very gritty. But the first thing I thought of when I saw Insomniac was doing it was Infamous. And
Mm.
Infamous is cool. There's nothing wrong with Infamous, but it lacks any real, for me at least, there was nothing there that grabbed me necessarily that I loved. It was cool. You have the cool powers. You're bouncing around. You're shooting your lightning grenades, and again,
Hmm.
it was cool. But I don't know how well that also translates into a Wolverine game if you're trying to keep
But
it gritty.
Infamous was Sucker Punch though.
Oh, was it?
Hmm.
So what am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh,
Let's
I
see
take
what.
that back. Then we gotta clean that then.
I was like, when you say Infamous, I was like, wait,
Yeah.
let me look this up. Something's not right here, because I'm like, Sucker Punch, who did Ghost of Tsushima, did Infamous. Let's see.
Why did I think then though? What else is?
What the fuck is this?
Well, I know they did. Oh, you know what? Sunset Overdrive.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what it
right.
was. Okay. That's a strange thing to mix it up for, though.
Right.
I don't know why I did that. We'll clean that up. Um, yeah, I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. Wolverine, I think, is already like a hard character to do
Mhm.
in like a game. And so I don't know. Like, what missions do you give a Wolverine? Like to do around a city, the woods, a secret military base? Like, where do you even base it?
That's true, because
Like
he's
he doesn't have,
everywhere.
yeah, he
He
doesn't have a
travels.
city. He doesn't have any, like, where do you even put this guy?
Japan.
Yeah, that would be very cool one if they did like the really stylized one. That'd be fire. Um,
um,
but yeah, I don't know. It's
yeah,
Insomniac. They've got great pedigree.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
like I said, I really hope this is their chance to do the grittier game, the darker, because everything they've done recently, I think, yeah, because they did, what was one of the games they did that wasn't, they did Resistance, which wasn't the
mm,
last, the final one wasn't their best, but still, they so they know how to make some games that are like, I guess, with killing, but it feels like,
yeah, yeah,
their last 5 games have been more on the lighthearted side. I agree, and so it's
yeah,
like maybe this will be their chance to say, okay, let's do something a little, on the darker side, with
yeah.
Wolverine. I hope,
It would be nice. It would be really nice to see them come after maybe Naughty Dog's kind of title for being the only one that can do gritty stuff on PlayStation.
right?
We can do gritty stuff. We know how.
I really hope they do well with that. I mean, I trust them,
Yeah.
but like I said, at the very minimum, we'll get a very fun, I guess, slasher, beat 'em up slasher Wolverine game. I mean, he can be again, in the older, depending on the type of Wolverine they're doing. I mean, he can be a little bit the type to climb, because I guess, he's known for climbing on walls too, like with his claws. So maybe they'll do something like that where you can jump on the side or at least cling to stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if they're gonna do like full X-Men, like with
I was gonna
what you call it,
say, yeah, like
Sentinels. Because fucking up
right.
Sentinels would be fire.
That too, like what other characters can they bring in for him, right? Because he's so dependent on everybody else. Like when does Charles Xavier pop up? Is this just a storyline from Logan that they follow? Because that'd be fucking hot. But that's just me. Um, I don't
I
know. I
mean, it
had a lot
seems
of
that's
questions.
yeah, it's true. We definitely got to see more. It doesn't seem like, and since Spider-Man's coming out 2023, and Miles Morales seemed like just an asset flip, with extra, just an extra missions and some different styles of the city.
Hmm.
They probably made that game in like a year, like, or right after. So I'm like, they got to be working on. They had to have been working on Wolverine. So I'm hoping, since we got Miles Morales,
It's probably the same
technically,
engine too. I would assume.
huh?
It's probably the same engine as well. I would assume.
Right, like something easy. Yeah, something they're already
Yeah.
using. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's true.
mean,
They already
and it
got the
looks
fighting
good.
engine.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. I wouldn't like.
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
fuck
no,
that up.
it's yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Like, instead of being stuck to a city, this could be the game where he can actually move around, because Wolverine's is a kind of a nomad,
Yeah.
as a character in general. He's always traveling, always looking for answers, and it'd be cool to see what he can do with that. I'm thinking more like,
Grand Theft Auto, Wolverine.
oh, like an open world. No,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, like, I don't think it'll. I don't feel like it'll be. This could
No.
probably be linear, because maybe they can do a more linear game. Because if you really think about it, he's more
Mhm.
of like a facilities, like, skip the science facility or go in and go kill the guy who put,
That's true. Yeah.
like they could mix it up. They can
Yeah.
definitely mix it up with but I feel like that he's gonna be a very more indoor, linear style of character, and
Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe more Rocksteady-ish, like the Batman games, where you
right,
have the outside environment, but it's really overall to get you to that next indoor area
right.
where you're,
I could see that. That
okay,
would
all
actually
right,
would be kind of cool. Yeah, like,
yeah,
I hope they go. That's like, maybe this will be Insomniac's Batman. Like, like, this will be the game that's darker, that has the angrier villains, and an angry
yeah,
character overall,
that would be
and it's
amazing,
very dry. None of that lighthearted shit. Because if they
right?
can't fuck up the image, and I think they know that. I think they know that they can't fuck up Wolverine. People love him because he's gritty, because he's angry, because he has,
Yeah,
he wants to just fuck shit up with his claws, like.
yeah,
And then the healing system, how's that going to work? Because he's self-healing. This is going to
true,
be a slow thing. Is it going to be like you could take bullets, but I don't know. Like, I really would love
yeah,
to see what they do with it.
yeah. Just watch Logan, guys. Insomniac, just watch tons of Logan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
please and
What did
thanks.
um for the next one was Gran Turismo? What did you think about
Yeah,
that? Them showing, are you excited for it? It looked fire, but it is Gran Turismo, so hyper realistic.
yeah. Gran Turismo is always, it looks amazing. As always, though, they still don't do their anti aliasing. Is I don't know. They just don't use it for some reason. I don't know
Mm.
why. Because everything else looks absolutely photorealistic, and I guess in motion you can't tell as much, but in previews and pictures, I don't know. It's just like, why are there still jagged lines on your cars, bro? Like you have reflections for days. Like everything looks so realistic, and then you have like a jagged like hood on the car, and I don't. I don't know.
I gotta look at that. I didn't even notice.
It might be something that only I notice, and it's so minimal, but it throws it. I don't know. It just
No, I
throws it
hear
off for
you,
me.
especially that it's next gen. Like we're
Yeah,
in next gen. Why are we even seeing fucking jagged edges?
yeah. It's so weird. I guess because it's at such a high resolution, they're just maybe saving processing power that way. It's fine. It's just yeah. Can you even notice it? Is it just me?
I'm trying to get to a part where it shows like more of the gameplay because it's just
Oh,
like
okay. And what it is just like it has such good reflections, but then out of nowhere you'll see like that extra glint from like a jaggy, like straightening out and then flipping the other way. It's just like, why? Why do I still see this? And then I've always thought that it never felt like the cars were going as fast as they really were.
That's true.
In that series, like the sense of speed has never been great for me.
Did you play? What was the last time you played a Gran Turismo?
It's definitely been a while. I think I want to say I tried the last one
On PS4.
on PS4. Yeah, whatever the last one on PS4 was, I want to say I gave it a shot. But as always, not my cup of tea. Turning was always too sluggish. I'm over Forza guy. I like the more arcadey kind of fun.
Me too. I'm like just simply because it looks fire. And honestly, as now that I'm a little older, maybe I can appreciate the hyper realistic type of things where it looks like you gotta pick your parts and like that looks kind of cool to show. Oh yeah, I see it. Like they're showing like the indoor view, and if you look, you see like on the edge, you see that.
Yeah.
that
It's not
little
a big thing, but it's just enough.
Yeah, I see it. It's just for some reason these consoles, man, they can never they always give that up for other things.
Yeah.
And it looks like they actually showed this in 60 FPS, so I'm happy about that. I mean, you better in a freaking car game.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I see it. But maybe it's early footage. Maybe it'll look better in person.
It does. It usually looks better in person, but this is just what GT does. They've never turned on anti-aliasing, I think.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
almost all their games, it's always the same shit.
That's true, and the PlayStation is just in general has that shit turned off. So in PS4, so it was a little bit better on the Pro, and it's not as bad in PS4, but I feel like I still have seen that where you could tell that if it was on PC, bumped up a little bit more, it would look better. But thankfully, on certain games that are cross-platform that I've played on both, you can't tell the difference. Like before, there was an obvious difference between playing something on PC and playing on the PlayStation 4,
right?
Or even the Pro. But now it's PS5 games. Are the difference is like negligible if there is a difference. So like that because Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War, I had I got it on PS5 because I just wanted to feel the shooting on the controller.
Right.
And switching back to PC, barely noticed the difference. So I was like, oh,
that's cool.
okay. And I forgot there was one more game. Can't remember now that was on PS5 and I played it on both, and it was like, oh wow, I think it was no. Yeah, like that's it.
Yeah. Nice. We're getting there, little by little. Consoles are getting there.
And then after Gran Turismo, because I thought Wolverine was gonna be Spider-Man when I saw Sonic, but then they showed Spider-Man 2, so I was like, that was fun. Like, all right, like just because we know it's gonna be fun. And they showed they threw me off with the whole like show a little bit of electricity. If that's Venom's voice, that sounds a little bit corny. I think that Brock Eddie Brock should sound a little bit more stupid, but like
it's very movie-esque. You know what I mean? They're going with these, like super kind of overdone movie type.
Yeah,
trying to keep it in the comic book Marvel vein, I guess.
Yeah, so it was cool. I mean, it obviously didn't show anything. It was cool to see Miles and Peter together. So obviously it looks like you're gonna be able to either they're gonna switch off missions or I'm sure it's gonna be narratively you switch off. I'm sure I doubt they'll let you pick. So
yeah.
So that was cool.
Is it gonna be Venom and Carnage or just Venom?
I'm assuming just Venom, but
I don't know. There's 2 Spider-Man.
That's true. You could have that Miles Venom could be Miles's thing because Carnage is too crazy. I don't see him. I don't see Miles going after Carnage unless it's just one of those like I don't know. But
yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
I really
I don't
hope
have to think about.
they write up Miles a little bit better. Like I hope I don't know. I hope like I'm not too crazy about the voice actor they picked for him. I just didn't care for his squeaky sounding voice. So I'm hoping that
Yeah.
maybe, and I think he's kind of a youngish guy, but I don't think he was like a a 15-year-old that was doing it. I think he was. Well, then again, I'm not sure how old the kid who did his voice was,
So
but
it definitely wasn't the dude from the movie.
no,
Oh,
definitely
that
not.
sucks. That would have
I
been cool.
know I liked him as Miles. I thought he did
Yeah,
a
he was
good
great.
job.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I'm like, I really wish like the way they changed Peter's face to look like a idiot. Like go ahead and change Miles's voice to the one from the movie, and I'll be super happy with that. It was good, and it
Yeah,
was good. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I liked it. Um, yeah,
And then we had
yeah, and then there was one.
there was the headliner, which we all like. I was like, they have to show this, which
Yeah,
was God of War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Woo!
Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, man.
It looks like already, and even
Yeah,
with it coming out on PS4, it already
yeah.
looks
It's gonna be fire.
next level. Yup.
Yeah, yeah. Like talk about good lighting, right? So we're gonna get to that now. Want to talk about good lighting? God of War. That's how you do lighting. See that Horizon
Exactly.
Forbidden East. That's how you do Forbidden South. That's how you light things and not have them glow, even though they're in full shade. Because the footage they showed of Forbidden West, not to harp too much, but still looks shit. And then the fucking head of Sony had the nerve to say like, "Oh, everything is just phenomenal from the lighting to." I just wanted to scream
Yeah,
it. I was like,
on the post.
"What?"
Yes,
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck you talking about? The lighting is phenomenal. You out of your goddamn mind? You can't lie to me like that."
I caught that. I caught that when he
I'm
said. I
like,
was like, all
"Yeah."
right, I
I'm
didn't say
like,
nothing on the stream, but yeah,
Aloy is still glowing, even though she's in a jungle. Her hair is like on fire right now. Like, just a little bit of shadow, please. Stop
I
it.
I
Stop
really
it.
hope they change that shit because I really will be disappointed on, and it's only in February. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like I'm still not convinced that game is coming out.
No, I think it's gonna be delayed at least one more time.
I could see it. I could see like them not wanting to have a good holiday season. They want people to buy these PS5s, and then once the dust is settled, okay, Horizon's coming out in June. Like I can see
Yep.
that simply because it really didn't look ready. They only showed one little piece, and then from that one little piece, that's where the original trailers were from. So it's
Yeah.
like you're not showing. I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe this is all they made, and that's it. They're just working on the game. That's possible too. That they just wanted to show this one thing. It was easiest to make the trailer from that one scene, but it's like it was so scripted. Like that doesn't feel like it's
Yeah.
gonna. I feel like that part is probably either the very opening to train you, and it's not gonna really be any, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't know.
they added like voice acting to it now in this second clip that they showed for this showcase. Like they added more sound effects and like actual voice act or
Clip of
seemed like they
what
did to that because they showed the same scene.
they
Like
did.
yeah, in the post I believe they showed the same thing again as they were talking like
Oh, as they were. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they
That's
were
right. I was
talking, they were cutting to
distracted.
the
Yeah.
clips and stuff, yeah. And I think they added more sound effects and like voice acting to it, but it seemed very kind of placeholder-ish. It didn't seem permanent, at least to me. I don't know. Either way, back to God of War looks absolutely amazing. The writing looks amazing. Again, just graphically amazing.
Exactly. Like I don't know.
Like,
Like you said, you hit it on the nose with the whole lighting. Like when you see him going through the on the boat, which I'm hoping that that's just gonna be little pieces. And now because you saw him on the dog sled, so I'm like, okay, hopefully
right,
this
yeah.
means multiple ways of traveling and not just on that damn boat. So
Yeah,
you
slow as
know,
yeah.
yeah, I'm like, come on, like we did that in the first game,
Right.
but it looks like what they couldn't do in scale, they did with detail. So it's like, all right, we can't make the game too much bigger because again, it's it got to run on the PlayStation 4.
Right.
But it looks like they really added that detail in there, and
Yeah.
something tells me that see you can turn that off, so I'm sure a PS4 version was gonna look a lot like. I have a bad feeling about the Horizon PS4 version, especially with the whole like thing that they did with charging. They didn't want to have an upgrade path, so it's like it feels like
Yeah.
if people didn't cry, would you have just left it like that because you don't want them to buy the PS4 version? Because if there's no upgrade path, why would I spend $60 on the PS4 version and then go buy it? I'm not gonna buy it again. I
Yeah,
might as well
exactly
wait for the
not.
PlayStation 5 version. It's like, are
Yeah,
you trying not to sell the game? So it was weird to me. So
that
I
is
don't know.
weird.
I have a feeling that like I just have this bad feeling that the PS4 version of it's not gonna be like Cyberpunk levels, but I have a feeling like that it's
I hope
gonna
not.
be the much lesser version. Like it'll
Yeah.
run, you'll get the story, but detail wise, it's not gonna look nowhere near as good as the PlayStation 5. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I
I'd
feel
agree
like
with
that's
that.
why they don't want people to have that version. You know, like we'll give it to the normals, but the crybabies, we don't buy that one.
Yeah, because it's a brand new engine they're using as well, right?
I believe
So
so, or
yeah,
something. And if I'm not mistaken, they built both games separately. Like it's obviously the same
they
game, but
have to. Yeah.
yeah, it's a ground up for the PlayStation 4 and ground up for the 5. So I'm like, all right, and that's why I feel like you're gonna get the lesser. It's gonna be a much lesser version, you know.
I wonder if they would go so far as to just use the same engine as they did before on the PS4, and then the new engine just for the PS5.
Oh, that's true.
You
So
know what I
you
mean? They
get the
just remix
lighting, you
it.
get the yeah.
Yeah, so they don't have
Maybe
to
I'll
do
fix
too
that.
much for the PS4, and yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
All I know is they got to work on it, and if they really are saying that comes out in February of 2022,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We
Yeah, I
got
don't know.
we got TGS, we got the Game Awards. Well, I don't think Sony's gonna do anything for TGS, but if they do, it'll probably be very light. But we do have the Game Awards where Sony does like to show up for us. So
Yeah,
hopefully we get, that's where we'll see like a real like gameplay, like a better gameplay trailer. But I have a feeling we may not. Maybe they'll do one more, like state of
yeah,
play, like, hey, here's what's coming, next month, and they'll do something in January. But I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. I'm worried. I haven't seen, like, it looks very small. Looks very contained. It looks very made for a game show so far.
Yeah,
It does
I don't
not
know.
look like a
Like
real game yet. But
I have to agree with that. Like it's weird that we've seen Deathloop 80 million times, but we've seen Horizon once, and it was like I said, the original, the early trailers, and the one gameplay trailer that they showed was all from the same part of the game that they showed. So it's like, hopefully, it's just gonna be so amazing they don't want to show nothing else.
it's allegedly going to come out before Grand Theft Auto Online. Okay. Just saying, Grand Theft Auto Online can't even do it before February, but you guys are gonna put out this brand new game on a new engine before. All right, we'll see.
Yeah, like I said,
We'll
I
see.
hope so. Like
Yeah,
Jesus, but
yeah.
yeah, no, like I said, all right. So before we move forward, so
Mhm.
overall rating of the show, what would you give it
What are we doing? Are we doing like letter
out of 10?
grades for 1 out of 10? Uh, I'm looking around, and I mean, did it meet my expectations? Yes, but that's because they were very low. I did not I did not have much hope for Sony for this presentation in the first place. So yeah, it met them. That's fine. Um but it didn't really show a lot of new things. It didn't, I don't know. And I'm not that enamored, I guess, with all the Marvel stuff. Overall, I'll give it a 7, just cuz I am excited for Spoken and God of War. Like, I'm really excited for God
Mhm.
of War, so I'll give it that, but it's a low 7, and I would have given it a 6, but I won't do that.
That's true. That's fair. I think that's fair.
Probably give it
For me, like I said, I get excited very easily. Um,
yeah,
in now that in hindsight, now that the dust is settled, we've discussed it and discussing it out loud and thinking it over. I'll
yeah.
say I give it like an eight, middle eight, like 8.5. I thought it
Okay.
was. I thought it was. Again, based on there's a few factors because yes, my expectations weren't super high because every time I'm
Right,
thinking like we're gonna get that Metal Gear remake announcement,
right,
Bandon's
right,
gonna
right.
really be Silent Hill, like that would have made it like a 20 out of 10,
I was
and
gonna
that
say, if
yeah
those were what the expectations were for this presentation would have been like, what, a 4, if that's what
yeah.
we were expecting, and
So
so
there's that. Like I because you know what it is. You're right. It's like I knew they were gonna go show God of War. I
yeah,
figured they were gonna show Spider Man, and Gran Turismo. Fine. Like I mean that but we know a Spider Man 2 is
yeah,
coming out. We know God of
yeah,
War Ragnarok's coming out. Like
right.
I mean we got to finally get the announcement. So that was cool, and that brought like the Sony stuff by itself contained. Is like it's like it was like a 9, and then
Yeah,
but that mixed in with the other stuff, which was okay, which was decent. I'd say out of 7, you know what I mean, like a 6.5 to a 7 for the rest of it. So like I said, that's why I'm like I give it like an 8 because the Sony stuff really brought it up. Because if it wasn't
Yeah,
for that,
a
this would
lot.
have been like an easy mid like 6, 7 of a show.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
Sony stuff brought it up a bit more. But showing Grand Theft Auto, showing Deathloop, showing what else? What else was
Time
there?
fillers.
Yeah, showing like things that we knew about, things that like they really didn't need to use the showcase for.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy fine. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy fine, but was pretty cool,
I
whatever. But
guess. And then
you
like
know,
the blood hunt, like you're showing earlier.
yeah,
That's
like
this game.
Bloodhound
Like,
was like
get this
whatever.
shit out of here.
We got more Gross Fire Turks. That was cool. And that's exclusive at least. And
Yeah.
or whatnot, but it's not first party.
Yeah.
Extraction again, you didn't need this show to show Extraction, so it's like so
No.
yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like their stuff brought it up, and I'm happy about that. And they showed gameplay, and I give them point. I'll give them a little half point for that because of they showed gameplay for almost everything except for like the new stuff, like like the major announcements. So we didn't obviously we didn't see nothing for Spider-Man or Wolverine.
Or KOTOR.
Or KOTOR, yeah, so we didn't, those were but you know, that's way more or way less than uh Microsoft has done. You know what I mean? Where they're
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
but a CGI show. And yes, while
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they had the excitement. There was some cool stuff coming out from Microsoft. There was nothing that like I didn't walk away feeling like, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm glad I own an
Yeah.
Xbox, so I can't wait. I can't wait for game. Like it's like, oh man, that's cool. Some cool stuff coming out. This had me like a way more hype for a certain thing. Like I got excited for like some of the stuff there. That's just like yes, but again, nothing that made me like nothing like that infamous 2017 where they showed
Right.
freaking the remake of Final Fantasy 7 coming out and God of
Nah.
War remake and
That was different, dog. That was very
yeah,
different.
like that was like, oh, I was screaming, when
Yeah.
that nothing made me like scream, which is like, yes, they're showing it what I thought they were gonna show. So, but they actually, like I said, the Forspoken showing actual gameplay. Project He had gameplay, like,
Yeah.
we saw more Guardians gameplay. That was pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
And then God of War Ragnarok actual gameplay. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, it wasn't just like,
What was
stupid
the
little
release date
thing.
for that one?
I don't think they
It,
said anything. They
I was gonna
said
say
it's
that
next year, but
that was the other thing that kind of got me. Not a big deal overall, but the lack of release dates for some of these. Like pretty much
yeah.
everything that I was excited for, I was like, oh, no release date.
Yeah,
Shit.
I doubt it because they just delayed God of War, so there's no way that was gonna have a release date, and
It's looking
everything
pretty.
else.
It's looking pretty snazzy though.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, I think the last one came out in May or June-ish, so I would say, and with Horizon coming out in February, and they need some bangers. I say
yeah,
by June we'll probably get it. I think, but if it's not a
that'd be
Christmas
nice.
title, yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be
which I
nice
really
for
hope
sure.
it's not.
Yeah. I don't know. Everything that I wanted to play didn't have a release date, so
Yeah.
sad, but meh.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
overall, oh, and the other thing I want to add on for getting points, for like giving it as high score, it's just that it was just better overall than a lot of the other stuff that we've seen. Like, yeah, there was some cool stuff from Microsoft, but it was like kind of like the same feeling, like okay, that's cool, whatever. But I guess since we saw like a lot more gameplay, it just felt better than seeing
Yeah.
stuff that Microsoft showed. While they showed a lot of stuff, it was
Right.
just it was 90%, if not 95% CGI.
I
So
like
it's just like.
CGI. Goddamn it! You watch your mouth.
I mean,
No,
like
I definitely get what you mean.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was just one of the better. Like if this would have been E3, they probably. I'm pretty sure. Nah, if it would have came out, if this would have been E3, this would have. I think Microsoft still would have slightly came out on top. But the
Yeah.
excitement factor, because like when you for me analyzing it, I got more excited for the 2-3 games in this versus like the 40
Right.
games. You know what I mean? That Microsoft showed. So it's just
I
like,
think what it is, it really depends on what kind of games you like. I think.
oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for the show, because a lot of these games are coming to both consoles. But like if you were really into Marvel games, this presentation was definitely cooler than Microsoft's. That's for sure.
Right.
This had way better stuff. If you really loved, your Uncharted's and shit like that.
And third person anime style games,
Right,
like this
like
had it. Cause
yeah. But
yeah,
for
so
me, I don't know. You're not touching Starfield.
that's true. I wish they would have had gameplay for Star, at least a little
I
bit,
know,
man.
I know.
And I hope
The
it's
thing
not a
is,
cyberpunk, like like a
no,
overly
nah.
hyped.
I mean, there's the danger of that, but Bethesda has such a fucking track record. Like, and this is, I don't know, this is what they do. I'd be heartbroken if this one falls apart, but
And I think they know the excitement's there. Microsoft can't let, and I'm sure they got an infusion of cash to those devs. Like, what
oh
do you
yeah,
need to make this the best fucking game ever from Xbox? So
absolutely.
I'm sure they went to the drawing board with a lot of Bethesda games and said, what do you know? And they said, what do you need to make this the greatest shit ever? And we don't want a Cyberpunk, and we just bought you, so your first Microsoft owned games need to be bangers.
Yeah, I think they will
So
be. I hope so.
yeah, I
Kind of
hope
looking
so,
forward
man.
to it, man. I'm definitely looking
Yeah, I'm
forward to
like,
that.
I really hope Starfield is on another level, some awesome shit, like give us like the No Man's Sky we didn't have off the bat, like where dopes
Yeah,
with an actual story,
give me Mass
try.
Effect and Fallout and
That's
fucking
true,
Skyrim
exactly.
all mixed together, and I will be a happy motherfucker.
I'm definitely gonna cop that though, just in general, because I wouldn't mind like a nice space RPG with some making choices and stuff. So
Yeah,
hopefully it's that. Hopefully it really is that, and they're filling in that Mass Effect void that we're
yeah,
missing.
I agree. Because Outer Worlds didn't do it for me. It was
It
alright,
didn't.
but the scale was much too small. You could tell you need a lot of confidence. You need a big team to do what Bethesda does.
Like the
And
writing was a tiny bit better than, I guess, like I think the way what am I thinking of, Fallout 4, but other than that, yeah, it was just boring. Like it just
yeah,
it lost its shine pretty early on. By the time I left the first planet, I was like, it's just like, okay. And then there was things I'd even do that once I beat the game, I didn't care to go back. And then I didn't even know I was
no,
at getting to the end. It was just anticlimactic. It just ended, and I was like, really, this is it? And then because I made the
yep,
right choices, and I put my points towards the right things, I was able to just not fight the last boss, and it ended. And I was like,
that was it.
oh,
Yeah, yeah, it was very, yeah, anticlimactic. That's what it was. It's just, I don't know. Just there was no real good thread to follow, so you're just kind of going from place to place. Just lots of go there, okay, go back there. Like you never felt like you were truly anywhere. So it's just like,
exactly.
what planet is this? Where am I now? Whatever.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like
Yeah,
the potential was there, and there is a good game to be had, with their system. But and I believe in them. I think they can do a
yeah,
good job, and I think hopefully with a sequel, with an official sequel coming out, hopefully they learned it from their mistakes, and they really they have Microsoft money behind them. So because that game was coming out when they were in the middle of being purchased by Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken.
ah, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I came to, it was like one of the first bangers, well, bangers. It was one of the
Well,
first, like, quote unquote AAA,
right, yeah.
like big name, like everyone was excited because who made, what's the name of the company
They
that
did a
makes,
lot of selling of that. Good question. Who did do that? I'm not sure.
it's the guys who made Fallout New Vegas,
Oh, was it Obsidian? Yeah,
Obsidian.
yeah, yeah. Obsidian's pretty good. Some people like their Fallout's better.
Yeah, so they have they were the originators of the original
No, I was
Fallout's
gonna say
before.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm like, it could be. I think they could do a lot more. Hopefully, it's a grander game, and not just like, I think the whole like you can kill anybody and continue the story is what kind of fucks it up in a way, because it's like if you know what to do, you can just get to the end pretty quick. You know what I mean? So it's just like just kill everything in your
yeah.
way.
And games like that are just dangerous because I don't know. They just take a lot of the suspense out of it, the fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, I murdered that town. Who cares? Move on.
Right. And then it's like it was, I don't know, like I think the choices were like, again, were kind of cool and stuff like that, but yeah, like overall it was just like I said, I think it's just the way it ended. It never really felt like it started. I think that's what it is. Like
Yeah,
you could do so much, but a lot of the shit was the same. As you get there, it's like they have a problem. Obviously there's the right and wrong answers to those problems. They kind of give you hints as to what you should or shouldn't say, and then it's
yeah,
like rinse and repeat. And it's like nothing ever feels that important because it's all optional. The whole game is optional.
yeah, yeah.
Since
Exactly. And
keeping every person alive is optional, except for the scientist who's behind the bulletproof glass, because it'll break the game if you kill them. So
exactly. And I'm even looking at like just screenshots now, and it's just bland looking. I think it's just like just has like
yeah,
this general filter over it, and it just
and
whereas
the
in
shooting
Fallout
wasn't
it
that good.
added like right, and the shooting wasn't good. Yeah. So like in Fallout, the filter kind of added that wasteland vibe to it. It really made you feel there. And this, it just seems like it's covering up all the color and the interest.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Anyways,
Oh, well,
Yeah.
hopefully part 2 will be better. Like I said, I
Yeah.
have faith in the sequel, so I'm like, I think it'll probably be better. Hopefully, it's I don't know how much better, but and I never played the expansion. I gotta check out the
Me
expansion
either.
and see if it's worth it, or like see if it maybe watch a review of it or something. See if there's enough changes, or if there's someone who feels the same who played that. Like,
Right.
all right, like, the base game was trash, but the 2 expansions were okay.
We're decent. Yeah.
Brought it back, yeah. But nothing's gonna
Mm.
bring back the shooting. The shooting was just always all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan. It was all right.
But yeah, but I think this was
We'll
good.
see.
I'm glad we at least got the Sony event. It happened,
Yeah.
and God of War definitely made that worth it. So I'm glad to see that, and yeah, I'm excited. So, video
Yeah, man.
games,
Video game,
yay!
yay! And just a random mention. It was something I saw earlier. Did you check out any Call of Duty Vanguard?
No,
No. All right.
the
So it's like
live
more.
stream.
It was a live stream, and then they just had the gameplay scattered about because they let like certain content creators play some of the multiplayer.
Okay,
Um, and it looks decent. It's like World War II. I think they're gonna have a Warzone version that puts you more like in the Pacific. I want to say. Um, so that's gonna be it's gonna be a new map. It looks cool. They have like an anti-cheat now, which is dope. But then I,
okay.
but then at the same time, I just discovered this game called Hell Let Loose. That's I think that's on early access or something, but it's
That's
already out
Steam.
on Steam. Yeah,
Okay.
but it looks amazing.
Oh
It looks
yeah.
like it puts Call of Duty Vanguard to shame, in my opinion. Like it looks really, really good. I haven't played it, but it's got like tanks. You have like vehicles. It's like I think 50 on 50 combat. So it's like a big battle. So I guess a little bit of mix of like Battlefield / Call of Duty. But yeah, check it out. It looks really good. Xbox, they just released a trailer, like gameplay footage of it.
Oh, I see here. Yeah, and it came out in July, and it
Mhm.
says very positive. Is very positive right now. It's $40.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll fuck with this.
yeah. I'm thinking I might download just. It looks really, really good. It looks fun. Just looks really
Yeah, epic
realistic.
battles. Yeah, 100 players with infantry, tanks, artillery, a dynamically shifting frontline, and the unique resource-based RTS-inspired metagame.
Yeah, yeah. I
Interesting.
don't know what's up with that metagame, but yeah, interesting indeed. Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought I would shit on Call of Duty a little bit. Sorry, guys.
Holy shit! I like one of them says Hell Let Loose is a massive multiplayer game with proximity chat and real physics. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna buy this right now.
Oh,
I might fuck with this. I love one quick because I do have to go because we're about to eat. But
okay. Sorry.
no. One quick thing that I wanted to mention that I heard on a different podcast was that the guy who made the Player Unknown brand, and came up with battlegrounds,
Right.
and then went out to make H1Z1 and blah blah blah. Like now his next venture apparently is he wants to do something in the vein of not a battle royale, but something, how the Verdansk, no, that's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You know how the original map in PUBG was like a 8x8 kilometer fucking map. It was massive.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he wants to do something like that, but like entirely player generated content. Think it's like also almost like you like think like No Man's Sky, but you actually make the items and you can make like a sword and it's and it'll be NFT based. And it sounded really interesting. Like I was listening to them talk about it. I was like yeah, you'll have a sword and it'll be a unique sword with using NFT technology to make
Oh,
to keep
okay.
it unique,
I
in the
see.
game, and you can sell it, or the more people who
Okay.
use it, it becomes more valuable. Like, and kind of like a Ready Player One kind of idea. And I think he's gonna start with like a 64 by 64 map, and like
Holy
if you
shit.
walk a mile, if somebody lives, on the other side of the map, it'll take you like days, or hours and
Yeah.
hours to walk, or like, so like I said, think like No Man's Sky, but like on a grander scale and on a more player involved scale,
That's
scale. So it's not,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, it's something to keep an eye on or think about. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because the way this game here is talking about, like, it's realistic and proximity, and it's like I love living in a world, you know what I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
like I love, that's what I really liked about Ready Player One, just the idea that it's like they came up with their own style of stuff. They built their gear and things like that. You race for that in-game currency that's a universal currency in the world. So it's like,
Right.
so I like stuff like that. That's why I think that's why I'm so addicted to No Man's Sky, because the idea that I can still go to your base, see the changes you make. I don't even have to join you. I can just
Right.
be on your planet, and the stuff you make on that planet will load into my game, regardless if I've joined you or not, because that information gets uploaded to No Man's Sky servers.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the most fantastic things about it. And like I told you, like I loaded an old save because I deleted my base by mistake, and Pfeffer standing in the middle of an empty space. And because I reloaded on my game, not with her, it starts to rematerialize on her game. And I was like, holy shit, that's
Yeah. That's
incredible. That means
wild.
that it exists in the game, no matter who joins the game. As long as they can, because it's
I
so
exist. I am real.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, like it's not just like thing, like, because if you play GTA, for example, my apartment's not
Right.
going to be in your game unless we're in the same server, and I invite you up. But in a game like No Man's Sky, it's like if I build a building on a specific planet and you find a way to get there without joining my game, it'll be there.
It's
And
there.
I
Yeah.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's like one of the most amazing things about it. Like, so a game that's designed from the ground up with the intentions of letting people live in the game. Something, think like Second Life or like Sims, or like, one of these games where like the character you are, and imagine mixing that with like something like VR, where you jump in and you're
Right.
really in this world, and you can really build a spaceship or something, or design something. Or obviously if you're not a designer, then people can, who 3D
Right.
modelers can like actually make, something. It sounds like it's trying to take Roblox to the next level, because Roblox, in a
I'm gonna
sense,
say, yeah.
is that, or something like
Mhm.
Valheim. Even Valheim, your character, when you jump to someone else's world, your characters persist, and you keep your
Yeah.
stats and your gear and stuff like that. So it's like almost like a portal to another dimension, because you're the same character.
So,
So
man, I
yeah,
wonder now, like, how far is he gonna go with like all the customability? Like, are they gonna be like, if the map is that huge, now do you have small user generated or user created cities? You know what I mean? Where
exactly, that's
you
what it's
create like a
sounding
little
like.
town or something, and then that's a persistent town now, and you go across and you meet other like that's pretty fucking wild if that's what that turns into.
Exactly, that's really what it's sounding like,
Yeah.
and it could be years away, but it's just like, man, if
That's like
that's
an MMO. That's like Final Fantasy, just user generated Final Fantasy.
exactly, like a legit MMO. Like,
Yeah.
that's, you live in that world. I think apparently, I think he wants to do it in the vein of like I said, like a No Man's Sky. Like it'll be, it'll still be procedurally generated or whatever,
Mhm.
but any edits to the world and anything in-game items that exist in that world are unique items,
They're
and I think
consistent,
that's
yeah.
the unique part is what grabbed my attention. Like, so you tell me if I build like a crazy gun, because I mean, again, I don't know how this would work. I don't know if but
Right,
again,
yeah.
if I have like, if I find a way to make a gun in the game and give it specific stats and it can do specific things, and and it's hard, and it's actually difficult for other people to do those things, then that's awesome. Like, you can even
Huh.
make entire games within the game, like somebody making a epic sword, and you can only get it on this place, and you have to follow these clues, and the first person to get it, only one person can go
Yeah.
get that sword,
I was gonna say
like,
this is legit like exclusivity, like for real now. Like this is it.
exactly,
We made this for a limited time and you have to be like level 80 goldsmith to like smith this thing, and like that's the
exactly.
thing, but people just gonna become like smiths and like build shit and sell it. I'm sure that'll happen.
Right? That's what I'm saying, like, something like, we could probably talk about this forever, but it's
Yeah.
like, just like,
Yeah.
yeah, that the implications of
Right.
something of that magnitude just sounds amazing. And then the thing is
Yeah.
that all you need is a base, like, a base game, something that can get like a regular person into it enough, and then set you free and do whatever you want. And then, talk about early access, that can be ever expanding and never has to end. So anything,
Yeah.
if it's not perfect now, it could be and another 2 3. Look at No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is like the perfect example. And I
Exactly.
really, I don't know, playing No Man's Sky and seeing what they've done, seeing how the game works, and seeing, like I know it's a little wonky with how like naming your animals, but still the fact that
Right. Yeah.
Pfeffer jumped into my game and saw all the stupid names I named my animals was like such an amazing thing. Like that, like, even though she discovered it for the first time herself. The game said no, like, you know, I had discovered this is the stupid ass name I named the thing. You know, so it's like that's so yeah, I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. It's nice.
But yeah, video games, man, I love them.
Games, bro, games.
But yeah, I think we should end it here. Like I said, I have to go
man.
and get some grub. But you know,
yes.
This was fun. Definitely got to do it again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hats off to Sony. Good job. Not a great job, but good job. You did all right. We're pleased. We're decently pleased.
Exactly.
Hit us with some more release dates and some actual gameplay footage of the game that you say is going to come out in 6 months.
Exactly. Fix those Horizon shadows, please.
Yeah.
You know, and now the road to the game. Well, we have TGS coming up, so hopefully there'll be some good coverage there. I'm only expecting third party. That's Japanese, so hopefully, you know, Square will bring some heat. We'll see some Final Fantasy news. Yeah. So that'll be in the next at the end of the month. But yeah, I just want to you made it this far. Thank you everybody for listening. I really appreciate it. Don't forget you can email us at itsgames@vgxl.com. So if you want to, you know, tell me how much you love me or hate me, please, and or tweet at me at VGXL podcast on Twitter. Yeah, that's all I got. That's it for me.
Don't tweet shit at me, okay? I don't want it.
That's at Atokad on Twitter, right? Yeah, at Atokad. That's ATO.
I think there's a number in there somewhere. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. I forget. Damn numbers. All right. Later, everyone.
Later, guys.
Deuces.